What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Stupidiots podcast. I'm Jesse, and this is Whitney.
Hey guys.
And last time I became the inaugural Stupidiots champion, which I decided is a thing as of 12 seconds ago. And I'm here to defend my title in another top 10 list where today we will be doing the our top 10 favorite superheroes. Um, yeah, pretty much. And I'm gonna have to guess hers, and I have no idea what taste she has in superheroes. I have a couple tiny hints in the back of my brain from conversations that have lead me to believe a couple characters that are on there, specifically one, but and then I've made a couple of safe guesses that'll most likely be on the list. But there's one that I feel like pretty sure is definitely gonna be on there. I don't know if it'll be number one, but it'll definitely be on there, I think. If not, then I guess not. I'm not gonna die on a hill for it. But yeah, let's just get this rolling. Um, uh,
Cut it.
you're gonna be tails again for the coin.
No, we'll go heads this
You're
time.
gonna
We'll
go
see.
heads.
We'll see.
All right,
Yeah, we'll see.
Alexa, flip a coin.
Okay, flipping. It's heads.
All right, so you get to. Wait, how did that go again? Is it you guess me first, or was it the other? Or you go first, and I guess
Yeah,
you.
I go first, so you
Okay.
guess me first.
I couldn't remember what happened with the result. I didn't know which one you wanted to be a thing. Okay, so I guess you first. So for your number, also we are not counting anti-heroes. No, like if somebody can question could be described as a villain, or most or like as like when you hear somebody's name, if you could think villain, it's not gonna be on here with one exception that I put on the list because I feel like it definitely could be considered a hero, but like Venom, for example, was the example I gave when I was telling her the rules. Is Venom's the villain. He has his hero moments and his anti-hero moments and whatnot, but in general, he's basically a villain. I don't want to make it any harder to name things than it already would be. But narrowing it down makes it a little easier. But anyway, for your number 10, I had The Flash.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Okay, so you got it
it actually is The Flash?
on the money.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
Um, specifically, it's the Wally West Flash. I don't really like Barry Allen Flash
Yeah,
too
no,
much,
the TV show was my guess.
except for the TV show Barry Allen. That's the only one Barry Allen version that I do like. The rest of them I like Wally West better because I just think he's
What is
funnier and more
Wally West
quirky.
is the CW show, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought
it
so.
is. Yes.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
Um.
I thought I put that because I thought I remembered you mentioning that you had seen that show. Especially when we were talking about it, you said we should. You're primarily going to focus on ones that you've seen in movies and shows. And I was like, and shows is oddly specific. I feel like The Flash is probably one of the most successful superhero TV shows. So I felt like The Flash was probably on there.
It definitely is.
Sweet, starting off 3-0. Title defense going pretty good so far.
I'm trying to fill out your side as I'm doing this because, like, I totally didn't make any guesses for your side. Because, like, I was genuinely blanking on my half, and so I knew I would blank on your half. So I'm trying to like figure out.
There's some of these that online that I don't think you're gonna get at all. Like you'd have no reason to assume it. There's a couple that I think
Yeah,
you may have a shot at guessing, but there's like a couple of these I'm like I'm there's no reason she would know. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about them because the much like with the fast food places, the latter half was kind of hard to figure out. The lower I went, like who I wanted to put in there. Like number one, knew
no,
right away. Number two, knew right away. Number three, I was pretty confident. Number four, I was like, I feel like it should probably be this guy. Number five, it's this person. Number six, okay, I guess this person. Number seven, Jesus, what do I put in number seven? I just had to. I
mm,
was I was completely out of ideas and had to think real hard on number 7 through 10.
okay. Well, I got my non-accurate top 10 list made for you. So we'll see how
Okay.
many of these I can get right. Um, so for my number 10 guess, I just put Captain America because I feel like you would like Captain America, but I'm not
It
100% sure
is.
if it'd
It
be
is
like.
not Captain America. Captain America is probably in my top 15, but he's not in my top 10.
Damn.
He's probably pretty close to making it, but just didn't quite cut it. My number 10 was Black Widow. Um, this one
Shit.
I thought you might put on my list simply because that's the Fortnite skin I was using yesterday. But no, I didn't really know much about her before the movie. Also throw out there, we're not big comic book nerds. I read some comics when I was a kid, not so much anymore. I also don't really watch superhero movies much anymore. Since Spider-Man No Way Home was the last one I saw. I haven't. I just got kind of burnt out on them. There's too many coming out too fast, especially with the MCU TV shows on Disney Plus. I just can't keep up with all of it. But anyway,
See, I'm the exactly opposite. Like I've seen some of the comic books, but I make it my mission to watch every single superhero movie that comes out.
it
So I
was
don't
me
think
for a
there's.
long time until like just I don't know after Spider-Man I just kind of when all the TV shows were coming out and I was trying to keep up with those too. I got real burnt out real quick. Just trying to like I felt like every single week there's a new piece of superhero content that was at least an hour long that I had to watch for the most part. And I guess the shows tend to be more around 30 minutes, but um I was just I got burnt out so fast after the TV show started coming out, like where as soon as one ended, the next one started. The last MCU TV show I watched was Hawkeye.
I
Um,
didn't even watch that one. There's some shows that I refuse to watch because I just think the whole concept's really dumb. Like Loki, I watched the first episode and I could not fucking stand it, so I'm not watching it. Hawkeye was also one of the ones that I haven't seen any of the episodes, not even the first one. Just when I heard the pitch for it, I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck that. That
I
sounds so stupid.
I enjoyed Hawkeye. I think it was like a nice change of pace, at least, like to have something that's not the entire fucking world is gonna end for once. Or like all of time is gonna collapse or dimension. Like it was just like just it was a nice like what's the word I'm looking for? Low stakes show. Like at least was a kind of a decent change of pace, but it's nothing that you're specifically missing out on if you don't watch it. But it's just
I
like as soon as
guess.
that one ended, it was like, all right, get ready for Moon Knight. And after that, all right, get ready for Miss Marvel. After that, already get ready for Miss Professor Hulk or whatever. Miss Hulk.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those either. I was
She
like,
Hulk. She Hulk. That's the word I was looking for.
I watched one episode of She-Hulk and I thought it was so dumb.
I didn't watch any of them, and then I was just too burnt out to watch the movies. Like I wanted to watch the new Thor movie even, but I never did. I was just like,
I
I just can't keep up anymore. Now I'm so far behind, it just didn't feel worth it to catch back up.
I
Maybe if I get the kick
absolutely,
again, but
yeah, I absolutely hated the new Thor movie.
hmm.
Like with a burning passion. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. I can't say. I was I enjoyed the last Thor movie, Ragnarok, and so I was excited for this one, but I'm just if I ever get into the superhero mood again, maybe I'll go back and watch them. Or I'll go back and get caught up, at least on the movies. I don't think I ever will on the TV shows. But
Yeah.
anyway, on to number 9. Here's where my exception came in, because I also dropped this one last night. That's the whole reason I even put it in here, was because since I said it last night, maybe you put it on there. The exception to the anti-hero rule, because reasons, is my number 9 for you was Deadpool.
That is incorrect.
Damn.
So my number 9 was Black Widow.
Ah! Well, I earned a point. I earned a point.
So Black Widow was definitely my number 9. I just really like how badass she is.
Mm-hmm.
And like she's just like a spy. So it's like she's just like I don't know. Everything about her is like just really badass. And you honestly you wouldn't lose if you had her on your team. She's really good at
Yeah.
getting information out. She's really good at kicking ass. Damn, she even tamed
She's
the fucking Hulk, okay? She tamed
yeah.
the fucking Hulk. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. If you were making a you can only have like 5 superheroes with you to like save the world or whatever, Black Widow would have to definitely be with you.
So
She's a really good character.
I don't know why that just reminded me. I never gave any reason for why why I had her as my number 10. So I'm glad you just did it for me, because I didn't realize till just now that I never said why. But yeah, that's
I
pretty
just
much it.
realized that too. That's fucking great.
That and of course, whenever I was like 12, whenever the Iron Man 2 came out and she showed up in Iron Man 2. But of course, what kind of dude didn't have a crush on her at that point in time? Like, let's all be
Best
honest here.
moment. That was a great moment. I didn't even realize that in, like, the first time I watched Iron Man 2 until, like, I seen, like, a little clip of it, and I went back and watched it. I was like, "Oh my god, why the fuck did I miss this the first time?" Oh god. Okay. So, my number 2
Number 8 or number 9, sorry.
yeah, sorry, my number 9, I don't know why the fuck I did that. My number 9 for you was, completely off the wall, and I'm like 'cause my guesses are so out there. I put the Green Martian because I felt like you would like the Green Martian as well.
No, that was not. That was not my number 9. My number 9. This is the one that I said I don't know. I feel like he was in a TV show, but I don't know for sure because I don't watch any DC TV shows. I don't think he's been in a movie unless he was in the new Batman, which I didn't see. Um, but number 9 for me is Nightwing. Um, who is
Nightwing.
if I
Yes.
so weird thing. Nightwing became my initial liking for Nightwing came from Lego Batman. He was my favorite character to play as because I thought 2 sticks he held were really cool, and so then I got more into him as I was like trying to get more into like DC comics. 'Cause I had no DC history really other than Superman and Batman as a kid. You know, the two
Mm.
givens. I didn't, and I watched the Justice League animated series, but nothing. And I watched like Batman animated series, Batman Beyond, but I didn't have much else. And I was trying to go further into DC, and Nightwing just like became more and one of my favorites. So he was so badass, especially during like my edgy teen years. He was the perfect hero for that. So
I think Nightwing is pretty cool. Considering he was the original Robin.
yes,
Um,
Dick
Dick
Grayson, I believe.
Grayson. Yes, Dick Grayson. He hasn't been in any live action TV series
I
or
couldn't
any live
remember.
action movies.
I couldn't remember if he was
Um,
in one of those DC shows on DC Universe or not.
He's been in the new Teen Titans movies that they made. And then he's been in Young Justice. He finally became like
He was in Young
Nightwing.
Justice. Young
He
Justice
was
was
in like
like
the later ones.
I see.
Uh I think like season 3, 4, and 5. I don't even know how many seasons they have. But I know definitely by season 3, like I don't know, I think the team like kind of split off and then like came back together, but he was Nightwing at that point.
I mean, he's just so badass and cool. He fit my emo years. That'd be the kind of superhero I wanted to be at the time.
Oh yeah. Um Nightwing's pretty cool. Nightwing's a good option. I didn't guess Nightwing because I didn't think you'd be a Nightwing fan, so that's kind of crazy that you are.
I didn't. I
Um
wanted to like. I wasn't sure if you knew who Nightwing was or not because he wasn't in any of the major movies. But and I didn't know if he was in any TV shows or not. But there's only like maybe one other one on this list you may not. You've definitely heard of. I don't know if you know much about, but everything else is like one. When I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah, outside of that one. But my guess for your number 8 was Star Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, that would have been a good option, but he's not on the list. And
Damn.
honestly, if anybody from Guardians of the Galaxy would be on this list, it'd either be Groot or it would be Rocket. Honestly, I like this. I like them better than the rest of the cast of
I would go
Guardians of
Drax
the Galaxy.
myself.
Drax is pretty good too.
Drax is. It was. And he's like badass in the comics, and then like he pulled like the biggest unexpected twist from the first Guardians movie when he turned out to be a total fucking idiot. Because like in the trailers, he was always for the first Guardians movie, he was always like so badass and like seemed like the tough guy. But then it was like then he dropped the it goes over my head. My reflexes are too quick. I'd catch
Catch
it.
it.
Or the
Oh my
thing with
God.
the thumb to the throat means death.
I don't. Okay, for anybody who like listens or like watches or plays Dungeons and Dragons, Drax is what I would imagine a druid to be like.
Hmm.
Hands down. I feel like that's what not oh, is it a druid? No, I don't think it's a druid. Um what is the big knight one? It's like basically it's like this giant guy who's like really strong, but he's also really
A
fucking dumb.
warlord? I don't know.
I don't remember
An
what it
orc?
is. I don't
Is
know
it an
too much
orc?
about D&D. I just know that there's like a guy who's like super strong,
I would
but
guess an orc would
he's
be my
really dumb.
guess.
Maybe it might be an orc. I don't
I'm
know.
not a big D&D person, so I don't know. But what was your number 8? I don't know what your number 8
Um,
was.
so my number 8 was Daredevil.
Damn it, I did not have Daredevil. I thought about it. Whenever you're saying TV shows, that was the other one that popped in my head.
Yeah, I really like Daredevil because I just think it's really cool that even though he has this like physical disability, he's still able to like
Yeah.
overcome it
Oh,
and then become a superhero.
Daredevil's a badass in that regard.
Daredevil's pretty badass, yeah.
Mm, no judgment on that one at all. I thought about Daredevil for mine. I didn't put him on there though.
Um, so my number 8 for you was Cyclops. I felt like you would like Cyclops.
It is not Cyclops. Number 8 for me is Black Panther.
What? Okay.
Black Panther, I think, is really cool. I like it. I like the whole, like his whole suit. I didn't know much like Black Widow. I didn't know much about him until he appeared in the movies. Um, but I very quickly really liked him. I'm not of the camp that believes Black Panther is the best MCU movie, but I do like it a lot, especially since I'm not going to go into this because it would take too damn long, but if you think about it, it's almost the exact same movie as The Lion King, um, which is my favorite movie of all
Yeah,
time. There's a
yeah,
whole
I can see that.
I could go on a whole shtick for that, but we don't really have a ton of time for it. But like the plot is almost exactly the same, but it's simply African son of the king has his father die, and when he's supposed to take the throne, he ends up getting dethroned by his other family member that takes the throne until eventually, after he comes back from exile, comes back to take the throne for him because the whole country is dying without him. Um, but yeah, but he's just really cool. He's got a badass. I like Chadwick Boseman was really good as him in the movies. I still don't know much about him in the comics at all. But I like in the movies he won me over pretty quickly. I have not seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever because again I haven't watched like any of the recent movies. But it was just I think he won me over pretty quickly, and I thought he was really cool. I like Wakanda. I think Wakanda's a really cool like fictional country, and all the technology with his suit without making him seem like a purely technology based superhero. I think he's just really cool. I think he's pretty badass. He's got that perfect blend of ancient and modern.
Agree with
But
that. Yeah, I really like that. I like Black Panther. For those reasons, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, technology wise, Black Panther has always been like, because I know him a little bit from the comics. In the comics, he was like never big on technology. It was like always this ancient like thing with him,
yeah, it seems
and
like it's
he
an
got
ancient. It's like to me at least. It seems like it's an because being the Black Panther is an ancient thing according to the movies at
yeah,
least. It's been the thing that's going on for ages, but like they seem to be constantly growing and evolving it um, to
yeah.
make sure it keeps also to make sure it keeps up with current weaponry and all that. But it still stays true to the ancient stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely love Black Panther. I like their whole cultural thing,
Mm,
especially in the movie when they like came together and like it was his coordination and everything, and they had to do the battle and everything. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
you know what, this is pretty badass.
yeah, it's really
Um,
cool.
so
But
what is your next guess?
My next guess, my number 7 for you was Iron Man.
Incorrect.
Damn.
So I don't know if you would have heard of her or like if you know much about her. Um, my number 7 is Satana.
So, I don't think I know that one.
She used to be the disciple of Dr. Fate, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I believe she used to be the disciple of Dr. Fate. But basically she has to speak backwards her spells to cast them. Um,
Hello? I think you might have muted your mic. Hello? And she's gone. Oh, and she's back. Hello? Alright, technical difficulties. We'll be right back. And we're back. Anyway, last thing we heard from you was you said that she has to speak backwards because of something with her spells.
yeah. So her spells only work if she casts them while speaking backwards. And it's like the weirdest thing, and I think for that reason, that's one reason that she's on the bottom is because of that. But that's also why she's also on the list is because it's so unique. Um, for a form of spell casting, is that you have to speak your spells backwards in order for them to activate. And I was like, that's pretty interesting for like somebody who's heavy magic based. Um,
Yeah.
but I do believe she used to be a student of Dr. Fate. If not, she was a student of somebody else who I can't remember. But she was originally someone's student.
Let's see.
All right, let's see. Is my list still up? Yes, it is. Okay. So funnily enough, my next guess was for you, Black Panther.
Well, at least you earned a point. That's your first point. It is 4-1.
Was it one? I thought it
If
was
it's...
two. If it was like one.
Oh,
Off.
yeah, it is. That's right. I forgot all about
Yeah.
that. We never had it the first episode, so I forgot. So just 4-2 now. Why is my pen not working? 4-2. There we go. Yeah, but my number 7 was Batman. I know some people are gonna sigh or roll their eyes just for Batman even being on this list, because I believe Batman has now entered the same area of Superman, of now being, because everybody likes Batman, now everybody hates Batman. Because he's everywhere, which I think has kind of made me grow more numb to him. Just him being everywhere, I just don't really care as much since it's just Batman everything all the time. But Batman's still pretty cool. I still really like a lot of the stories with the Batman. I like his villains a lot. He has some of the best villains in comics, in my opinion. Um, and I've had like Batman has good comic books I watched as a kid. He has good series. I know it's not the same character, but Batman Beyond was really cool. I know it's not the same person, but it's still under the Batman umbrella. Um, and then there's like the Batman Arkham games were really fun, and the Dark Knight trilogy was really good, and movies. And Batman just has a lot of success in pretty much every department for me.
I can agree. I can agree with the Arkham Knight series. It was such a good game series. I still need to finish the last one. I have gotten
Arkham Knight's the
halfway
last
through it.
one.
Yeah, I have to finish that one, but I did like Batman Arkham Asylum. I think that one was pretty dope.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty simple on that one. My guess for your number 6 was Batgirl.
Incorrect. So I didn't think you would get this one, because this one is just like so off the wall character wise.
The last one was pretty off the wall too.
Oh yeah, my last one was off the wall as well. No, so Nightcrawler.
Oh,
Nightcrawler is one of my
Nightcrawler is badass. I can't believe I didn't think of him.
Nightcrawler is absolutely amazing. I love the fact that he can teleport, but he doesn't just like kind of teleport. he actually goes into an alternate dimension that he has to walk through or like go through to teleport. You would learn this, and I think in the comics, and this is like one of those like little comic book things that I actually do know. And he mentioned it. He goes, "Yeah, when I teleport, he goes, I go into this dark dimension, um, and it can sometimes be dangerous when you come out because you don't know where you're gonna actually come out. You can get like stuck in a wall or something." And he like this was like when he was first learning his powers and everything. But
Yeah.
Nightcrawler in the movies was like really good, and
Yeah.
I actually enjoy him.
Especially X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is really good.
Yes.
And Nightcrawler would probably be my third favorite character from the X-Men franchise. Behind two that we have yet to see. um, but yeah, Nightcrawler. That is, he's probably number 11, 11 or 12. He's definitely close for me. I can't believe I didn't even think of him.
No, I
he
had to
probably
put so
still
much
would.
thought.
He probably still wouldn't quite be in the top 10, but he'd be really freaking close.
He's such a good character. I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so my number 6 for you was another Marvel character.
Okay. It is a Marvel
Um,
character. I'll give you that.
I put Gambit.
No, Gambit's also really cool. Gosh dang it! Like, there's so many cool. Like, I'm gonna throw out there. I prefer Marvel to DC, all the way. But the Gambit would also probably be like, I could expand this to 15. We throw Captain America, Nightcrawler, and Gambit in there. Gambit is so freaking cool. Oh shit! But my number 6 is an X-Men franchise character. This is probably the closest to off the wall. Mine will be. Most of mine are pretty mainstream. Um, but my number 6 was X-23. Um, who?
23 technically Deadpool.
No,
No.
that's
Like that
that's
was their version of Deadpool before
that
Deadpool
was
became a thing.
it was like he was it Project X or something like that was his name, something like that. But X-23 is the girl that's Wolverine's quote daughter.
Oh, I fucking hated her so much.
I don't know her much from the comic books at all. This is purely based off of Logan, the movie, and she won me over very quickly. I looked up like a little bit in the comics, but this was after my comics time. But I thought she was like in that movie. She was so badass. Like whenever she's sitting there eating her cereal, and Wolverine's like outside talking to the enemy group of guys, and they walk in. They hear all the crashing and banging and screaming, and she walks out carrying the dude's fucking head. It's bleeding on the ground. And
That's kind of funny.
she's so badass, and she's too badass for me to not include. She's only in that one movie, but like I liked her so much in that movie. It was so she was so good.
I didn't like that movie at all. You know what? Okay, I will admit she's probably okay, but the whole story concept behind her I kind of just hated. Um no, but she's all right. If she was a standalone character, I would love her more. But the fact that she was in that movie just kind of made me hate it.
I see. Well, we'll probably come back to this later. Um, my guess for your number 5 was Black Widow, and I already earned my point for that one. So
Yes. So that is not my number 5. Um, my number 5 is actually Raven from Teen
Teen
Titans.
Titans, damn, yeah, best Teen Titans character for sure.
But yeah, no, I absolutely love the whole fact that she was like born from a cult and her father's a demon. And that you see that struggle with her especially in Teen Titans when she first is introduced.
The original
I don't
one?
know if you the original one,
Okay.
yes.
I say I did
I
not
don't
watch
know.
Teen Titans Go, so I do not have anything
Yeah,
to go on
no.
that.
I don't know if it was ever broadcast this episode, but it was basically the episode where it showed how the Teen Titans actually became a group. Um, and she was really small girl or whatever, and she tried to stay in the shadows as much as possible. And um, they were trying to stop Starfire because Starfire had just now arrived to Earth, and she was going on this whole big ass rampage. And Raven just steps out of the shadows and she's like, "Can I help?" And it was so off the wall from how she's portrayed in the show, um, until this episode. And I'm like, it's kind of crazy seeing how she's transitioned from the very start of the show episode to where she is now, especially in her confidence and everything. She's just a really, really good character, well developed, and I like everything about her. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm willing to agree with that.
All right, so
I did not earn a point for that, by
my
the way. I did not have Raven anywhere. For you.
my number 5 for you was Deadpool.
Incorrect. At number 5, I'm gonna be. This is one that I fully expect you to have on my top 10 list. Otherwise, I feel like you're gonna facepalm yourself because I feel like it's a given, based off of me being who I am and all that stuff. People who have only listened to this podcast, like the first episode, and haven't no clue who I am outside of that, probably won't know. But people who know me would probably find this a given just based off my personality, even though they don't know my opinion of this character. Number 5 for me is Aquaman. Oh.
I may or may not have put Aquaman on the list.
Is that a yes or a no?
That's a no. I did not put Aquaman on the list.
I felt like if you didn't, you probably would have facepalmed because I feel like as soon as I say it, you probably know exactly why he's on my list. But
I legitimately forgot about Aquaman as I was trying to think of Marvel and DC characters, and my brain completely went blank that I forgot that Aquaman even existed.
for those who don't know me, I love water. Like my YouTube channel name is from Team Aqua, who's from Pokemon, who's the team that's trying to flood the world with evil team trying to flood the world with water. I'd love to go to aquariums. I could spend all day in an aquarium. Like fish are cool. The ocean is super interesting to me. I love swimming. I love I'm like yeah, if I was in the Avatar world, I'd be a waterbender. And yeah. Um, and that's pretty much sums up the whole reason Aquaman's my number 5. Even in the comics where he's not as like in the originals when he's not super powered like Jason Momoa Aquaman, just being able to talk to fish is good enough for me.
Honestly, that's why I liked Aquaman from the older shows and stuff, was just because he was able to communicate with sea life.
Yeah, it's even if that's considered lame among a lot of comic book fans, I don't care. That would be something I would love to be able to do. Just talk to fish and other sea creatures. But my number 4 for you was Batman.
Incorrect.
Damn.
So my number 4 was actually Deadpool.
Hey, I got a point.
Deadpool, just a really badass character. Can't really die. Literally tears limbs off and they'll fucking grow back. It's just a really cool character. I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool.
Yeah.
You just bring his humor to it. I like when they break the fourth wall a lot too. It's fucking absolutely hilarious. But yeah, Deadpool would be another one if I had a top 5 superheroes I wanted to help save the world with. Yeah, Deadpool would definitely be there with Black
Yeah.
Widow.
He's pretty OP too, so yeah,
All
makes
right.
sense.
So
I don't think you're
my
gonna get my number
guess
4. I'll be very surprised if you get it. And
my
it's a
guess
pretty commonly known, but I don't think it's one you would
yeah.
guess.
My guess for number 4 was Hulk.
Incorrect. My number 4 was Ghost Rider.
did not have Ghost Rider on the list at all.
Ghost Rider was simply because of badass factor. That's the entire reason. He's literally a skeleton on fire riding a motorcycle with chains that are also on fire. Has the ability to see into people's souls and kill them. Like,
That's pretty fucking badass.
He's the most badass superhero of all time. Like, there's
Okay.
nothing cooler than Ghost Rider.
His motorcycle was pretty badass, but I gotta say, I kind of like the previous Ghost Rider.
With the horse.
With the horse.
Yeah.
I love horses. So
The horse
I mean,
too.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Every
that was so
incarnation of Ghost
badass.
Rider. He's like Ghost Rider is just entirely off of badass factor. There's no level of badassery higher than Ghost Rider. Plain and simple.
So,
But
what do you think of my number 3?
for your number 3, I had Captain America.
Incorrect. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I don't really like Captain America.
I'm not gonna give you shit for that.
I liked the first movie of Captain America, and I thought it was pretty cool seeing how he became Captain America. But then, like, I don't know, it kind of got old pretty fast. And like, the only things I really like about him were some of his like, off the wall comments that he didn't realize that he was making. Like when he told, like when he told Tony Stark in the second film, Avengers, I believe, to watch his language, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Is nobody gonna touch on the fact that Captain America just told me to watch my language?" He was like, he didn't realize that he was doing it because he was like still stuck in his like older ways, like when he was back in the 40s or some shit like that.
Yeah, the 40s. I
And
totally get it. I'm not the biggest Captain America fan. I know I said he'd probably be in my top 15, but that's just because I think the shield thing is really cool. Like the fact that just somehow for some reason like bounces back to his hand every time. Um, and I think the whole like the idea of being somebody from the 40s that's alive now is really cool. But I think his personality is pretty bland. He's just another perfect person that does no wrong. And like yeah, like he's just perfectly good all the time. Doesn't really need to grow other than learning what current times are like. That's my main problem. Though I do really like Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War as movies, but it typically doesn't really have much to do with him as for the reason why I like them. But yeah. So anyway, what was your number 3?
my number 3 was actually Doctor Strange.
I
So
considered him strongly.
you were close. It was from the technically same universe. No, so I absolutely love Doctor Strange because I was also introduced to him through the comic books, and the way he became, kind of this magical leader type person was like he had an accident that destroyed his hands. And I'm like,
Mm.
it's pretty cool that he like, went on this journey of self-discovery and then like discovered like this supreme leader. Totally thought he should have been the supreme one. Hate the fact that it kind of went to Wong, but you know what? I'm also not that mad at the same time.
I like Wong, so I'm
It's
fine with it.
Wong was really cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like if it was based purely on that one technicality, is why he didn't become the supreme leader. I kind of think it's stupid. It should have definitely been like reconsidered and like their abilities tested to see which one would make a more suitable leader. I just hate the fact that he became like Wong became the supreme leader because of the snap. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish I would have done something better than that. Um, but no, he's definitely one of my top 3 favorite people.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So,
Yeah. Not gonna judge on that one at all. Doctor Strange is awesome.
Doctor Strange is good. So for my third one for you, I actually put Black Widow.
Okay, so
Um,
that's another point for you. You're catching up. It's
I-
5-3. But that is incorrect, as you already know.
yes.
But my number 3 was Spider-Man. Um,
I should have put that. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
and yeah, especially since I've been playing Miles Morales lately.
I know.
But
I know. know. Every
And
time we
like,
hop on, you're like playing that.
who doesn't like Spider-Man? Like, I feel like Spider-Man is like one of the most relatable superheroes because the fact that literally somehow, some way, every single villain he ever faces is tied up in his personal life. Not in this typical way of like they find out who he is and do stuff, but no, it's always like his girlfriend's dad or his it's either his girlfriend's dad or it's it's his science professor or it's his best friend's dad or it's somehow always connected to him in some way coincidentally, but that also makes it more interesting for me. He has the best villains, hands down, no contest whatsoever. And he's just easily he's easily the my favorite in that regard. And his superpower is so freaking cool. Like I can't describe why web slinging is more fun than flying. Um, it's just web slinging is more fun than is cooler than flying. Just somehow it is. I don't know if it's the fact that there's momentum and therefore more adrenaline or something. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it just is. But
Had I thought about it, I probably would have put that on the list.
yeah. But my guess for your number 2 was Thor.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
So my number 2 was actually Green Lantern.
Mm.
I absolutely love the Green Lantern universe, especially
Thought you were
how
gonna say the movie, and I was gonna be like, "Good God!"
the movie's okay.
The
It's not like the
movie's
best.
it's not the worst. I'll give you that much. But I wouldn't exactly say I wouldn't say it reaches a 5 out of 10.
No. The reason I absolutely love the Green Lantern universe and Green Lantern itself is because his power is legitimately only limited by his imagination.
Yeah,
And I think that like for that one aspect, I feel like he's really underrated. But he's also extremely powerful if you think about it. As long as he can actually physically imagine what he wants, it happens. So that's one of my favorite things about him.
yeah, and I can't really argue with that.
So my number 2 for you was actually Superman.
No, hell nah. Superman is everything I hate about Captain America dialed up to 11. Superman is not only is he like overpowered, but like again, his character is just like Mr. Can Do No Wrong, is always good, doesn't really need to grow other than becoming accustomed to his environment. That being Earth. And I'm not a fan of Superman. There's no sign of like weakness or need for growth or for him as a character. In everything I've seen him in, I just I it's just not my kind of superhero. And especially I don't like my superheroes to be that overpowered. Like except where it seems like you would need an entire army just to beat them. And a lot of superheroes
True.
would just because of skill, but his because of the fact that you literally cannot be like he's near invincible. Regenerative health and stuff is one thing, but if there's like definitely like an easy to obtain weakness, not just this rare mineral that somehow every single person he ever fights gets a hold of, but
Batman.
yeah, but my number 2, some might also say is overpowered, but but he is mortal. He is just a man. Number 2 for me is Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Iron Man for me was number 2. He's very close to number 1. My top 2 are like definitive, yes, like above everything else. I love his character growth. His character development is great from being the genius genius billionaire playboy philanthropist to uh to being a selfless man wanting to save everything. I always thought he was cool, but like in the comics, but then like the movies really won me over for him. Robert Downey Jr. did brought brought I don't know, brought him to the screen really well. And um well, he's definitely just I don't really know how to describe it. I love his character growth. I love the fact that everything about him was self-made, much like Batman, except cooler. Like much more like the fact that he can build all this stuff. it's basically a smart Batman, but like comes from, instead of being born from fear, it's being born from selfishness into selflessness, and there's all, I could go on and on and on, and I love seeing like his suits evolve over time as he continues to work on the suits, as he continues to work on himself, and it's just amazing. I love Iron Man so very very much.
I can actually agree with that. Out of every superhero I've ever seen, I think Iron Man is the only one I've actually really seen that has like an exponential growth and development from like this really selfish, self-centered person to like a really selfless, I want to take care of everybody type person.
Yeah, that's what made Avengers Endgame extremely emotional for me. The most emotional I've ever been in a movie. Like, I'm gonna drop some spoilers for that movie if you haven't seen it yet, which it's weird. I feel like most people have seen or already know how it goes, but warning, spoilers, skip ahead like uh, 2 minutes just to be safe. If you don't want to hear them, you've been warned. But like seeing him have a daughter already made me emotional. Like, because the fact that he's starting to like, he does not seem like, when you see him at like the start of Iron Man, there's no way in hell you'd ever think he'd want a kid. Um, and even get married, let alone have a kid. Instead of the start of the first Iron Man, but then obviously with the way the movie ends as well, was absolutely perfect for Iron Man's story, and like committing the ultimate act of selflessness. And yeah, I was crying like a baby at that part. But it was so it, like, he to me had the perfect character arc for a superhero in that regard.
He really did.
But
Oh goodness.
my guess for your number one was Spider-Man.
Incorrect.
So Spider-Man isn't on your list anywhere?
It's not.
Damn.
It's not.
I
He'd
thought
probably be like
Tom Holland alone would have put him on the list for you, I would have thought.
he would have been like 11, honestly.
Excuse me.
I did grow up with him a lot. But there's someone who, knowing me, you should have known this. My number one was Beast Boy, just purely from the fact
I
he
was
can turn
thinking
into
because the fact that you're a furry, got it. I
yeah,
literally
from,
almost
from the
put
fact I'm a
Beast.
furry.
I almost put him on there actually for that exact reason, but I was just like, I don't know how much she likes him as like a personality or anything, or she finds him annoying or something. I don't know. But
I find him absolutely fucking horrendously annoying in Teen Titans Go.
oh
In
yes, for
the
sure.
in
From
the
I haven't seen a
original,
ton of it, but like my little cousin or my little cousin in laws watch it, and it was so annoying.
oh, it is absolutely annoying. Even Raven's annoying in that. But in the original Teen Titans, and even in like the Titans TV series, live action TV series, I think it's just really cool how he became to be and everything. I don't know if I ever touched base on this in the original Teen Titans TV series, but he actually used to not. He's not from Earth. He's not from Earth.
It makes sense.
He was originally, well, he wasn't even like Beast Boy. Like he was like a regular like person, but like not on Earth, if that makes any sense. He was like from a different planet. Just kind of like Superman, how he was like, a regular human.
Mm.
Something happened to him and it turned him into Beast Boy. But he was actually originally part of somebody else's team, and they didn't like him, and they thought he was so bad at being a team member, that they kicked him out of their group. And then he came to Earth and became a Titan. Um, but the fact that he turns into any animal is pretty cool. I love him in the new Titans TV series because they actually took him and they took away all of his ability to transform into different animals away. And he's like, as he grows as a character and as a person in that series, he actually develops more animals that he can actually transform into. I think the very first one that he could transform into was a tiger. He was just that was the only ability that he had, was to transform into a tiger. And then eventually, as the series continued, he could turn into more things. Um, just a really good character. He was always like really funny too in the original Teen Titans series.
Hmm.
Um, so that made me like him, just like how goofy he was, but also how serious he was sometimes.
Interesting.
Um, so for my guess for your number one, I actually put Iron Man.
Mm.
So
So, oh wait, we're gonna have a draw.
yeah, I don't I don't know what we're
Okay,
supposed to do
so
in this manner.
we're gonna, I think for that we're gonna go off of pure number of things that were on the list. But we'll go over that in just a moment. We're gonna go through my number one first. Sorry, my throat's getting dry from all the talking.
You're good. I've actually had to mute
But
my mic a few times and make a drink as well.
my number one was Wolverine. This is where I said we would come back to the whole X-23 thing. Um, Wolverine's been my favorite superhero since I was a little kid, like back in the very first X-Men movie, and in the X-Men cartoons, and in X-Men comics. I love Wolverine and everything. He's super cool. I love his superpower, like the claws. In the regenerative ability is also really cool, but the claws, very simple but really cool. Not super overpowered, but still like strong enough to definitely like take out an army by himself. But not Superman level of overpowered. He's not like freaking breaking dimensions with it or anything. Um, and he's another character with significant flaws, especially at the start, and has to learn to grow, and has a lot more like trauma based flaws than douchebagginess based flaws. And seeing him grow and develop over the course of the comics, the TV shows, and the movies, I love all of it. It was so cool, so fun. Um, I loved I loved Logan, by the way. I know you apparently hate that movie, but that is literally my favorite superhero movie of all time. Um, I absolutely adored that movie. And spoilers for Logan, but it gave him the ending he deserved of finally being able to die. Like it's weird him dying being the happy ending, but the fact that, and you know, the whole movie like, and going into the movie I knew he was gonna die, but like you knew he wanted to die. So, which isn't as sad as it sounds, because he's been basically cursed with immortality, and he wants nothing more than to die. All of his loved ones are dead. He didn't have anybody left after Professor X except for Laura X-23, who was too young for all that. And so he died for like a good cause. I'm not actually getting emotional. I'm just trying to keep myself from coughing.
He's a liar. He's totally getting emotional.
Just throwing that out there. But he was just, and Hugh Jackman is my favorite actor of all time, and mostly for that role, but other roles as well. But Hugh Jackman to me is the best superhero portrayal on television. A lot of people say Robert Downey Jr. He's second to me. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine will always be my favorite. And he's like, I don't know, him as a character is always the most interesting to me, especially since, you know, he lived through wars as well, just like Captain America did, but he didn't have the he doesn't have the peachy personality. He's got a bit more of an actual grit to him, much more like actual veterans have, that went through the hell that is war. You know, he's lost all kinds of people. He's seen all kinds of fucked up stuff, and
You
easily
know,
my favorite. Always has been, always will be.
you know the one thing I have always hated about the whole Wolverine X-Men series type thing?
What's that?
The fact that Sabretooth is his brother and he didn't remember, like he never got it back. Like he never got that memory back that that was his brother or anything. Even in the alternate timeline, never once connected that that was his brother.
Yeah,
Um
and not exactly a good brother.
I mean, yeah, he's not a good brother. Don't get me wrong, not a good
Excuse me.
brother. But I thought it would always be cool to have that connection or like for him to get his memories back, but he just never did.
Yeah, but He's just hands down. Also, the people that made the Spider-Man games or Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales and the upcoming Spider-Man 2 are also working on a Wolverine game. That's the next after Spider-Man 2. I'm so fucking excited.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty interesting.
I cannot wait. The X-Men Origins Wolverine movie got a video game that was pretty good too. But I think this one will be like even better. So I'm pretty excited. All we have for that though is a teaser trailer, which just showed it was being made by Insomniac. It showed a bar that was all destroyed, and it showed somebody sitting at the bar. You can see their face, but you saw their arms on there, and the knuckles are bloody, and then you see the blades come out. And it was like coming soon or whatever. And it was like Wolverine. And I was like, let's fucking go. My favorite superhero is getting his own game that's not from a movie.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking dope actually to see.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Cannot wait for that. But it is now time to figure out who wins this episode. So the one that the tiebreaker that I had thought of would be to go based off of pure numbers. Who had guessed the most correctly? I guess the most things, except I think we both guessed 3 things. So do you want to just do a coin toss?
Yeah. Let's just do a coin toss.
I was gonna say, except we both guessed 3 things. Call it.
Tails.
Alexa, flip a coin.
Okay, flipping. It's tails.
Damn it! My title reign is over. Whitney's the
Let's
winner for
go.
this episode. We are now 1-1. So what is your pick for next week's topic?
Honestly, I kind of want to keep with this theme. So I think next week's topic we should actually do favorite villains.
All right. I can do that. I can roll with some villains. Anyway.
Yeah, I think favorite villains would be a good thing to do.
Excuse me. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. But that's gonna be all for this episode. We're gonna go ahead and close this off so that way I don't die of an asthmatic attack, even though I don't have asthma. And we'll catch you guys next week when we do our top 10 favorite super villains. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.